Hey, what's up guys? This is Brad with Osan Fitness, and I'm here with my friend, another soldier. I'm gonna introduce him in just a second, or let him introduce himself rather. But kind of in preparation for the upcoming Army Combat Fitness test, which will include a deadlift. We're gonna do a little bit of deadlifting today. And so what I wanna do is, work with this soldier here and kind of see what he does and how he performs deadlift. Then I'll see if there's any room. I haven't seen him yet do anything, so this is gonna be all kind of fresh as we go. But I just want to see how he performs the deadlift, and if I can provide him any tips or tricks that might help improve his deadlift, so that he can be more successful on that upcoming test. And some of this information, or some of these tips, tricks, what ideas may help you at home, or any of you guys across the force as well. Whether or not you're in the Army, it may also be able to help you increase your deadlift. So without further ado, let me introduce my friend.
Hey guys, Sergeant Tyler. I'm here to learn from the best. You guys know who this guy is, Brad. He's gonna just show me some things. I'm by no means a professional. I just get in here and try to throw some weight around, so I'm here to learn today.
All right, cool. So we got the bar set up. I've got 155 set on the bar here, and really I haven't seen him deadlift yet, so I'm just gonna let him approach the bar and get set up and just show me what he does. I'll let him do it without any kind of critique. And then once we see what he does, we'll talk about his form and the things that I see, and we'll kind of go from there. So here we go. All right, let's see what you got. Okay, give me a couple more. Okay, that's good. Okay, so a couple things that I saw on the deadlift, right? So as you're performing, come over here. So as you're performing the deadlift, pretty good setup in terms of how you approach the bar. A couple things that I did notice as you're doing it. One is, tilt the camera down here. So as you set up, right? You had your legs kind of wide, your hands are just right here, right? Almost to the point that when you were coming down, it actually collapsed your knees, right? So those knees were collapsing in, which isn't a most advantageous position to push from. So like imagine if I throw a punch like this, where everything is stacked, versus kind of like this, right? More power behind that straight line. So as you bend that leg, you're not having as much power from which to drive from. Right. So what I would recommend is a little bit narrower of a stance, so that those knees don't collapse in as you come down. Right. Then the other prompt that I saw is as you went to set the bar down, you were almost reaching with the upper body to set that bar down. So you want to maintain that tightness in the upper back and bring that bar down, versus letting the bar sink down. Does that make sense? You're getting a position in that thoracic section of your spine that causes that thoracic rounding. Now if you're doing repetitions that are going to be difficult for you, giving up that position is going to make the subsequent deadlifts harder, because you're already here. Once you've given up position, and especially under a significant load, it's hard to get that position back. So you're going to maintain that tightness in the upper thoracic area, so that as you're setting it down, you're not releasing and rounding. So those are a couple of quick tips that I saw that might help you. And then the other thing too is make sure that as you approach the bar, so when you set up the bar, you were kind of like this. What you want to have is, as you set up the bar, you want that bar to bisect the foot. And what I mean is, from the front of the shin bone to the tip of the toe. So you set up just a little bit too far away, and it puts you kind of out of your toes, like we talked about stacking. Now, I want to do something with you to kind of demonstrate that stacking, so you feel what I'm describing. And you guys will see that in just a second. Sorry, so I've moved Sergeant Tyler over to the another setup here. We have lighter weights, only 95 pounds in the bar, but I have a band set up, and what I'm doing with the band is trying to teach him that stacking position so he doesn't get up over his toes like we described. So I'm going to let him perform some movements and actually feel the difference so that he can kind of describe it for you guys. Yep, good. Bisecting the foot, great. Make sure that your hands are even positioned wherever you end up setting them. I would put them just outside your legs, but not over top of the band. Okay. There you go. See, Now drive those hips forward. There you go. Good. Drive the hips forward. So as soon as you crest the knee, begin to squeeze the glutes and drive the hip forward. There you go. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
So like everything's kind of moving in unison. It's not just the legs extending and it's not just the back extending. Do you feel that difference?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so give me a few more reps with this. Give me like 4 or 5 reps. Good. 2, 3, 4. Good. And you guys see there on that last rep or two, as I came around front, he wasn't crashing the knees in. So we closed the stance a little bit so that he has a better position from which to drive from. So now that I had him perform some repetitions with the band, I'll have him move back over to the regular bar, and it's going to feel a little weird because you felt the resistance of the band now, and so it kind of initially or instinctively you're going to stack up much the same way.
Okay.
All right. So a good tip for you guys to help get yourselves cued right. So here we go. We're going to move him right over, and show me your deadlift without the band now. Now the other thing too is before you initiate the weight, before you begin to pull, I want you to brace real hard like you're going to take a punch to the stomach.
Okay.
So abdominally brace real hard. Big breath, brace, drive. Boom. How's that feel?
It's almost like the bands are still there.
Right. But you see, I don't know if you guys can see on the camera how much more smooth and in unison his movement is. The legs are extending, the back is extending at the same time, and then you see the legs aren't really crashing in anymore. He could even use like to narrow his stance in by like a few more inches even. Yep, good, good. Not really giving up that position in the thoracic spine. Good, it's good. All right, so those are a couple things that you guys can do. It's really simple and easy at home. All you need is like, one little band, and you guys can make these corrections for yourselves and, kind of cue yourself on the deadlift a little bit better and get yourself kind of moving in unison. More muscles doing something, performing a movement together is more power, right? That makes sense. So let's hear from him and see what he thinks of what we did and kind of how it feels, because obviously this has all been kind of one shot, so we'll see how he feels about it.
So the biggest thing I can say is everything is activated, right? Quads, glutes, my core, everything is activated, and I think it's better than I usually feel. I normally feel it in 1 or 2 areas, but not all over. So that was excellent.
So something like those little corrections, little tips, you feel like if you were to kind of implement them in your continued training, that it would help you better prepare for the test?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because the test is about explosive power, it's about sustained activity, it's about total body fitness. So doing this kind of thing would absolutely be beneficial.
So if you notice that one of the last little cues that I gave him was to make sure that before he initiated pressure onto the bar to begin to drive the bar, that he's bracing abdominally, right? Creating that intra-abdominal pressure. It helps stabilize the body, keep the body rigid, because will you hold the camera for a moment?
Yep.
If you are not properly abdominally braced, what's going to happen? This is all full of soft, squishy stuff, so you're going to cave. Once you start caving, you're going to lose pressure, and losing that position, it removes your efficiency in order to be able to apply appropriate weight to the force, or force to the bar rather. So if you're giving up position here as you're trying to stand up, you can see how that's going to be disadvantageous, right? So if you're tight in the core and this isn't collapsing, it gives you a good stable platform from which to apply power to that bar. So as you begin to deadlift, one of my biggest tips for you guys is don't just grab the bar and jerk. Get a hold of the bar, big breath, apply pressure. Cool. All right, so little tip from me to you guys. I want to thank my friend Saran T for helping us out. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, you leave them in the chat box below. I'll be sure to respond. I hope that these tips help you guys, any of you soldiers that are out there that are preparing for this test, or anyone else that wants to make their deadlift just a little bit better. I think these things will help you guys kind of learn to cue the deadlift, especially using that band. Yeah, remember guys, no matter what it is you think you can't do, get in and train despite. You're either going to find an excuse or you're going to find a way. Appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.